Welcome back to the Nose Plays Magic the Gathering Arena. We're going to play the blue deck. Blue is another color I'm not real fond of. However, there there are certain blue archetypes that I do find enjoyable. Um, I've had a few blue pre-constructed decks that are just terrible, and I've had a few that I actually enjoy playing. So let's see what this one's got. Looks like we're going to be playing blue artifacts. Gearsmith Prodigy. This is a really surprising card. If you're playing a blue artifact deck in a draft style format, this one can really go off. It can be really, really powerful. But you really kind of need some of the really like early one drop um, artifacts to make it efficient, because you play your artifact on turn 1, you play this on turn 2. It's a 2/2 for 1 mana, and you can really get in some aggressive aggro with this card if you're playing the right artifacts and you're lucky enough to get them on the table. Otherwise, it's pretty inefficient, but in the right deck, I've seen it go off. Disperse is good for tempo and removal of certain things like enchantments. Diamond Mare is cool. Field Creeper is pretty bad, but it is an artifact, so it does have some synergy in the deck. Aven Wind Mage can be scary, but it's generally just an okay card. This is pretty good. Aviation Pioneer kind of gives you 2 blockers for the price of 1, and it also gives you a flyer, so sometimes a way to get some trickle damage in. Combat Trick with card draw, more card draw. This card's really good. In fact, I've seen a few people who play Magic a lot more than I do say that this is one of the best cards in this set. I don't know how true that is, but it definitely has the potential to kind of take over a game just by creating lots and lots of artifacts. This is the whole reason why we're playing 4 Field Creepers right there. We want to play those Field Creepers after he's on the table and create lots of creature advantage. Tempest Djinn. That's interesting. So his attack power is equal to the number of islands. So essentially he's a 3/4 that gets fatter as the game goes on. Water Knot, just an enchantment that ties up a creature. We've seen that one before. Scholar of Stars draws cards. Decent sized body, but Flying Snapping Drake, good. Lots of evasion. Just more artifacts, I guess. Riddle Master Sphinx. So another bounce card. I have a card I want to play that I didn't see in this deck. I opened it in one of my packs. There it is. Exclusion Mage. We have 1 copy of Exclusion Mage. I think we should totally play that. I'm going to kick out the Aven Wind Mage, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to kick out the Aven Wind Mage and put in 1 Exclusion Mage. I like that card better. And we're going to go ahead and play this. We are ready. Now, I'm not 100% certain that I saved that deck, so maybe we are just going to play with the default deck. I'm not sure. Robotic Mixer. Okay, well. Opponent goes first. Give him a hello. Two Gearsmith Prodigies and a Field Creeper. I like this hand a lot. Lots of early game plays and a late game play if we draw into lands. But we can play 3 of the cards in our hand plus the 2 lands. 1 land gets us into Aviation Pioneer. That's a keep. So we're going to play aggro with this deck just because we have the setup for it. Gearsmith Prodigy comes down, swings on turn 2 as a 2/2. We'll play the Field Creeper next. Gleaming Barrier. When Gleaming Barrier dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token with sacrifice to add a mana. Well, we'll play on curve. And we'll swing and see what he does. So this is called a free attack. Basically, he has a blocker that doesn't... There's not a death here. Now, if I had lands, he might consider not blocking just because I might have a combat trick. But... So this is an opportunity where he might consider the fact that I have a trick and he might not block. He did. He's going to block. That's what this is for. Okay, we'll throw out our land. Yeah, we're not going to use Water Knot on that. Go ahead and play the Aviation Pioneer, which triggers a token, and this can fly over his wall, so we will start to get in damage here eventually. It's saying I can play a land. Okay. Did he just pass turn? That was weird. I think he accidentally passed his turn. He didn't mean to. That really kind of sucks for him. Yeah, he was just clicking too fast on this end turn button, I think, and he accidentally passed his entire turn. Well, that's a lot of tempo for us. Good luck. Yeah, something weird was going on there. I think he was accidentally clicking this end turn button. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he disconnected? I don't know. That's really odd. So we're definitely going to... Ooh. Seize control of the battlefield, and once it's yours, summon powerful creatures to finish off your enemies. A blue-black pre-constructed deck. Well, we'll take that. And we'll play with this one again. Alright. Blonic. How's it going, Blonic? Air Elemental. I didn't remember seeing that. What is this? You may pay for and tap an untapped artifact you control rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Huh. Okay. That's a 2-drop. Yeah, this is a keeper. We got some plays early game. They're not necessarily fantastic plays, but they're not bad. Drew into a disperse. Play the Diamond Mare. And we will call out blue. Choose a color. Blue. Of course. There we go. So we're going to gain some life. Hopefully a fair amount of life. It looks like opponent's playing a blue-white deck. Could be an artifact synergy deck, because blue-white, at least in core, is an artifact synergy deck. We don't have a lot of good plays here. We'll go to combat first and attack. All attackers swing for 1. Damage. And main phase 2, I think we play Divination. Yep. We don't have a better play. Gotta use our mana up. We will trigger that. Alright, 2 more lands. Hopefully our next card is not a land. I want a 4-drop. We've got the 5-drop in the Air Elemental, and then we need 1 more land to play this, or we use the artifact. Actually, we use the artifact and we bring him out. Okay, maybe this is the play. Pay 3 and tap my creature, because he can't attack anyways, to bring this out. You may tap... Okay, so... Yes. Click an option. Yes. Why won't it tap this? I don't know how to tap this. Click to add a stop. T for tap. Did I read this wrong? We only have 3 mana. Oh. Okay. This is why we couldn't do it. There we go. Resolve. Okay, I'm learning. Bear with me. Okay, so that was confusing, but I think I figured out what I did wrong there. I needed to play my land, duh. So he's going to have a hard time dealing with that with his current board state. He's going to have to play something. That 1/1 flyer ain't going to last too long against my Jin. And in fact, ooh, Icy Manipulator. That's a good answer. He does not get to answer this turn, though. So 5 lets me play Air Elemental. Do I swing with this and play Air Elemental, or do I disperse his Thopter and hit him for 5? Maybe I disperse the Thopter, hit him for 5, and then play the Field Creeper? That gives me pretty good board state. Alright. We're going to go to combat. And we're going to attack. Two attackers. And I goofed this up. Alright, we're just going to play the Air Elemental since I goofed this up. Yep. I needed to disperse before I chose my attackers. So now he's going to have to make a decision. He's definitely going to tap this at the beginning of my attack phase, but I'm still going to be able to swing with the 4 flyer. Unless he has another answer in hand. He does have 4 cards. We have a good combat trick, though. If he wants to trade a 4/4 for a 4/4, we can befuddle and draw a card. That would be a really good play. Seal Away. When Seal Away enters the battlefield, exile a creature until Seal Away leaves the battlefield. Well, do I do here? Play my land. Playing Disperse on this brings this back out, but I'm only going to get in for 4, and he's just going to bring it out again. I think we'll just swing. He's going to Icy Manipulator, our Air Elemental. Alright, main 2 will bring out the Field Creeper. And we'll hold up Disperse and Befuddle until next turn. I'm kind of bummed. I could have gotten in more damage for sure if I had played that Disperse properly earlier. Whenever you cast a historic spell, untap this. Okay. Interesting. He can use Icy Manipulator to untap it. That's what he's probably planning on doing. Okay, we'll go to combat. Go to the attack. Skip through the block. Do I want to play anything on his turn? I do have the mana that I could disperse this right now, which gives me tempo, but I don't have a good follow-up play. So I think we just hold on to it. Make him use his Icy Manipulator or something to untap this, and then once it attacks before we choose a blocker, we'll disperse it then. I have enough mana to do that, and I can play another land, so... Yep. That's the play. Gain another life. Gain some creatures. There we go. And we'll move into combat. Now he needs to make a decision. Is he going to use that to untap his creature, or is he going to tap my 4/4? He may let this go. Okay, he's going to tap the 4/4. Nothing I can do about that at the moment, so we'll let it resolve. And now we're in combat. Attack. All my creatures that can attack will go. See what he does. Okay. Is this worth a befuddle, or do we just let it die? Do I need that 2 damage to chump block this later? I think we let it go. He's got 1 card on the table, and whenever he gets this untapped, I can just disperse it, which is really bad for his tempo, because he's going to have to spend resources one way or another to do that. He may have some legendary spells in his deck that get this untapped for free, relatively speaking, but... I think we're in a good place right here. We definitely have bigger board state. Okay, whenever you cast a historic spell, so he gets to untap it now. So that's annoying. We'll let it resolve. This is a historic spell? Yeah, whatever. Artifact creature bird. So go to combat. We'll go to the attack. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna disperse this. No swingy for you. Diamond Mare will trigger. Disperse will trigger. And that puts him back quite a ways because he doesn't have enough mana to bring it out again this turn. So that gives us some time. We drew a land. What can we do here? We can swing with almost everything. I think we'll save the 2 smaller creatures for chump blocks, but we'll swing with the 2 that can and see what he decides to do. Ah, okay. Alright, so this is a situation where I get a free attack. So he's tapped out. Well, he's got 1 land. But I've got a bunch of land, and I have 1 card in hand, which he doesn't know. Could be a combat trick. We'll see what he does. He'll block it. My combat trick doesn't actually win it, so just let him think that there's no combat trick. He'll get used to doing that, and then when we do have a combat trick that is useful, it's more likely that he'll play into it because he knows I bluff combat tricks. Alright, so he's going to bring that creature out again, probably. Nope. Antiquities, War. I don't really know how sagas work. I'm not familiar with sagas, so I think they just have an effect every turn. So he gets to grab an artifact from his deck, potentially. I don't know when that triggers. Did it trigger right now? Maybe that's what he's looking at. Okay, brings this thing back out. Do you have enough mana to do both of those? Huh. How does he have 8 land? Yeah, choose your attacker. He didn't attack. Alright, my turn. Not a great play. But another chump blocker and more life gain for us. He's gonna keep locking down my air elemental, unfortunately. He did not lock it down this time. Alright. We're gonna swing those 2. And we'll see what he does. Okay. Down to 14. Wow, this is a long game. The most exciting one so far. I have a feeling he's got way better cards than we do, considering our deck, but you never know. Even pre-constructed decks can win out every once in a while against better decks. If the RNG gods are with us. Let's see what happens here. He gets to look at the top 5, reveal an artifact. Alright, so he's putting that in his hand. Untap. Ah, that's how you're going to get that trigger. Okay. Yep, we'll let it resolve. Resolve. Skilled animator. That could be a problem. What's he going to target with that? The bird? Yep. Alright, he gets to choose his attackers now, and he is coming hardcore. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage total. I think we just eat it. This can then get through. This can't. This can't. Yeah, we'll just eat it. We had a lot of extra life gain, so we need to draw into something good. Wow. So that's going to trigger every turn? Alright. What do we draw? Thoptress. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have an artifact spell. We could sack 2 artifacts to draw a card, which we may have to do. Go ahead and get him out. He'll trigger some life gain. Do I have enough to kill any of these things? I got the... he can tap these. Yeah. He's debating. He is going to tap it. Okay. Alright, so what do we attack with, if anything? I don't think we have any attacks this turn, so we'll just end our turn. These 1/3s are annoying because we don't have anything with a big enough power to kill them. This actually hurts him because I think this triggers on that. Yep. But he does gain this one, so it's probably about even. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to lose. We're top decking really poorly. I need a removal spell, and I just can't seem to draw one right now. Dwindle would be nice. Even, like, Exclusion Mage would be okay if we then also had, like, a counter spell of some sort in our hand. Okay. Yeah, he's playing a blue-white artifact deck. It's pretty solid. He's got some cool interactions. I don't think it's fast enough for competitive play, but it's definitely good enough for casual play. Beating the pants off of my precon right now. Well, our life totals are similar, though. But not for long. Okay, that's going to resolve. Yeah, go ahead and choose your attackers. So he's swinging with everything. So we're going to block. Alright. Now we get to choose our blockers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to block that, there, That's going to block the flyer. That's going to block that. And that's going to block that. 4 blockers, and then we're going to use... Yes. Submit. And we drew a land. Okay, do we befuddle? Do we befuddle one of these to try to get this to survive? So we have one more blocker. I guess not. I ran out of time. Alright. Well, Tempest Djinn is an interesting card. He's an 8/4 currently. Make that a 9/4. Yeah, I don't think we have too many turns left, but the 9/4 will give us something. We'll see what he has. He has 2 cards in hand, and he has Ice Manipulator still, so... That's curious. Why wouldn't he tap this one? No attackers. In fact, yeah, we're just going to end our turn. We're holding on like champs. But I don't think it's going to be enough. His board state's way too big. We need a lot of bounce or something. Something we can get rid of some of these. Even if it's just temporary. Let's plan another one. Okay. Alright. He gets to look at 5 and put another one in his hand, but he has tons of mana. Yeah. Alright. Sky Scanner's another really good card. Yep. Tap my best blocker. And he's going to go for 12. I mean, I've got 1 chump block. But that's tramples, so that's not going to save me. Okay. So that's a good game. So that's the blue deck. We might try one more with this deck. That game went a little longer than the others, but I kind of want to find an opponent that's a little bit more... Well, that's playing a similarly crafted deck. Somebody else in one of the precons, maybe. That would be cool. Julio Playstone. Yeah, I'll keep this. So, when I'm teaching my kids to play Magic, one of the things that I always tell them is there's basically only 3 types of games of Magic. There's the games that you're guaranteed to win because the opponent just has terrible draws or whatever. There's the games where you're guaranteed to lose because you have horrible draws. And then there's the games where your decisions actually matter. And those are the games that we're looking for. And one of the benefits of a system like this is you can just jump into games so quickly. You can find a lot more of those types of games. And those are the really fun ones. So that's what we're looking for. Fun games. We're going to go ahead and go combat. See what he does. He's thinking I might have a trick. So he might just let it through. He doesn't want to lose this flyer. Oh, he's going to block it. Alright. I bluffed. Main 2, bring out the encyclopedia. So one of the best tips I have for new Magic players is just play more aggressive. You need to play aggressive to see whether playing aggressive is the right strategy. So when you're first starting out, if you can trade creatures, you should trade them. If you can attack with creatures, you should attack with them. It's generally going to be to your benefit to do so. Now, not always, and there will be situations where you'll want to make your better judgment calls, but... Okay, so this is a situation where Disperse is really good. We can also draw a card. No, we cannot also draw a card. Disperse is good. Water Knot's not bad on this either. I like the idea of Disperse here, except that I don't have a follow-up play. So maybe we just Drake? And then Disperse next turn? He has no blockers, so it's easy peasy. We'll probably take... Okay. The elk cannot attack this turn, so he doesn't get to tap a creature. Yeah, we're not going to block, so we're going to bounce. Now we have enough to bounce and draw a card. Okay, so I think we draw the card first. Just in case we get something that we could play. We did not, at least this turn. So we'll go combat. Attack with this. One attacker. Swing for damage. And we'll hold Disperse for their turn and bounce this when it attacks, unless we find a better target. Go to combat. Choose your attackers. Okay. This is where we will hold things up. That's a 2-for-1. He loses the enchantment and the creature. He can play it again next turn, but it's only going to be a 2-2. And we're going to get a free swing in with our Snapping Drake and our Diamond Mare. Oh, he did have enough mana to bring it out this turn. Okay. That's fine. Gilded Sentinel? Maybe we Water Knot it. I can draw a card and Water Knot, so let's draw a card because I don't have a better play. That's a good play. Next turn. We are on 6 lands. So yeah, let's go ahead and water knot the Griffin. Doesn't feel great. That's usually better on a bigger creature, but this gives us some aggressive plays. And then next turn we can bounce whatever his play is this turn, if he has a big creature, and keep the board state in our favor. Okay, he had no play. Well, we have 2... That means he's probably holding some type of removal spells. Some type of... Maybe we bait out his removal with the air elemental. This comes out. And we have 3 to draw a card. Okay. So let's draw a card. Island. Go to combat. Swing with that. Put him at 9. Bring out Gilded Sentinel. Now he can... Well, he can tap this down when he attacks, though, so he can still get through, but I have a blocker if I really need to chump block. I can draw a card and play that, so let's do that. We're just killing him in card advantage here. We'll save this for after. Let's see what he does. I'm really curious what he has in hand. He might have a land in hand. He might just be holding to a land. Okay, tactical advantage. Yeah, I don't have a way to remove that, unfortunately, but gain some more life. He'll play maybe like a Luminous Bonds or something on this, and then we'll bring out the Riddle Master Sphinx and bounce it. Let's see what he does. I really like this interface. It's so familiar. I played so much Hearthstone back in the day. This is pretty big at this point too. So what? We can already hit him. Yeah, let's just go to combat. Attack. He's not conceding, so he might have something in hand that he can play. Okay, he's going to create a bunch of 1/1s. I'll let it resolve. He'll probably stack them to kill the Snapping Drake, and he'll put 1 in front of the Air Elemental. I could draw a card. Okay. I was gonna say, if I could get something that would bounce a creature, then he won't be able to kill our Drake. So maybe something like Disperse, but didn't happen. Yeah, he's going to put 2 on that and 1 on that, yeah. Okay. Looks good. Does he have another combat trick? He's got 1 card in hand. I've been drawing cards every turn. This is such a great card. If you see this, you should definitely snatch it up in your drafts. It's so good, especially in the late game. The sheer amount of card advantage we have is just crippling. I think he's just going to give up. He's going to play a trick on one of them. Interesting. Okay. Sphinx. Comes in, bounce that. That should be game. He's got some more blockers. Yeah, we're just not drawn into the cards we need. Alright. Two attackers. He has no cards in hand, so he's down to 2. And he's got 3 flyers to deal with at this point. So that should be a good game. I guess I had enough to bring out Gilded Sentinel. Probably don't want to do that just in case he does have any kind of a board wipe. He gets to tap somebody down. He'll probably tap the Jin. Yep, that's fine. Alright, we'll block. I am still learning this interface. It is a little bit weird. It's pretty familiar because of Hearthstone, but definitely some differences. So it'll take me a little while to get used to it. Make me click all the way through, huh? Alright, well that was an interesting game. Definitely a more fair fight. We both had pre-constructed decks. So I hope that was entertaining, and we're going to have one more deck to try, and that is the white deck. We've seen a lot of white decks, so hopefully we don't get mirror matched with another white deck, but if we do, we'll play it out. We'll play a couple of them, so stay tuned for that. That'll be the last video that I'll make tonight, and then yeah, I may be doing some draft and some other things, so if you're into watching me play Magic, let me know. It's definitely something I'm interested in doing on the channel a little bit if people want to see it. And otherwise, this was a really cool first experience for me, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. So I hope everybody had a good time, and we'll catch you next time.